Skip it up and that up.
Team Deathmatch.
What's going on, everybody? This is Bob Ross, filling in for Review Tech USA, and I just want to let y'all know that
This is Sparta!
So Sony is about to post their biggest loss in the company's history. The company says it's going to lose a record $6.4 billion for the financial year that ended on March 31st. This will be the fourth straight year the company has gone without making a profit. That is insane. Sony is also due to lay off 10,000 people, which is double the amount of employees than they originally predicted they were going to have to lay off. And they're saying that's due to some complicated tax credit issues that they had in the United States. Kaz Hirai, who used to be the PlayStation division chief, also blamed poor demand for the company's TV sets, and he promised to make big changes to Sony to make the company be the industry leader again. IGN interviewed an analyst for this story named Tetsuro Lee, and he said, I quote, "To bring Sony back, Hirai needs to develop personnel and platforms that create competitive and innovative products." I totally agree. Sony hasn't done that for a long time. But a lot of talent left under early retirement plans. The old Sony culture would only allow it to make things that were the best globally. Under that logic, does it make sense to continue its TV business when it's not even the market leader in Japan? Okay, I'm going to go on a little rant here and tell you about my personal history with Sony. Back when I was a kid, Sony was like the Porsche of electronics. When you wanted a Walkman, yes, I'm talking back before portable CD players, when you wanted a tape Walkman, it was Sony. That was it. You went to whatever department store you went to and you got a Sony Walkman. When you wanted a TV, Sony, no question. When you wanted a CD player, whether it was a portable or whether it was a home deck, you got Sony. It was not even a question. I mean, there were other brands out there. There were super high-end brands like Harman Kardon you would get. They're still around today, but 99% of the time when it came to electronics, it was Sony without question. But times have changed. For example, when it comes to TVs, there's more affordable companies out there like Vizio. I bought a Vizio. It's a great TV. To get something equivalent from Sony would have costed $200 plus more. Sony totally missed out on the MP3 market. They kind of sloppily came into the MP3 market after Apple took over, and they didn't even make a dent. And to be honest, I used some of their MP3 players back then. They weren't anything special. And to this day, if you look at all the Sony products out there, they always seem to just be copycats. Sony doesn't seem to be a leader anymore. Like if a product like tablets get popular, they just throw a tablet out in the market, make the sign of the cross, and hope people buy it. Sony seems to have no passion and enthusiasm for the products that they create. And if you develop something and don't care about it, how do you expect the consumer to care about it? Look, I don't want to see Sony fail. I love Sony. I grew up with the Sony brand. I love the PlayStation brand, and I still think they make damn good products. In the end, I don't think the entire company is going to go under, but I do think some big changes are coming to Sony. What's the point of being a conglomerate with a billion products if only a dozen of them are selling? Times change, and sometimes companies have to as well. So what's your take on this? Do you think that Kaz Hirai has the talent to turn Sony around? Or do you think it's too little too late and there's no chance of saving Sony? Make sure to rate, comment, favorite, and subscribe. And if you have an interesting news story you'd like me to discuss, private message me either on YouTube or G2PO, and if I use your article, I will give you a shout out in the video and put a link to your channel in the description.